Hey there! If you've been anxiously checking your bank account and wondering when the next round of financial support is coming, I've got some breaking news that you absolutely need to hear about. The IRS has just announced a fresh wave of $1,200 stimulus payments, and the best part? If you're on Social Security or receive VA benefits, you could see that money hit your account within the next 24 hours. But before we dive into all the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any crucial updates about your money and benefits. Now, I know what you're thinking, is this really happening? Haven't we heard similar promises before? Well, this time it's different, and I'm going to explain exactly why and how you can make sure you don't miss out on your payment. This new stimulus package has been specifically designed to provide rapid relief to those who need it most, with Social Security recipients and veterans being placed at the front of the line. Let's break down what makes this stimulus payment special and why it's happening now. With the ongoing economic challenges and rising inflation affecting millions of Americans, particularly those on fixed incomes, the government has recognized the urgent need for additional support. Social Security beneficiaries and VA benefit recipients have been particularly vulnerable to these economic pressures, which is exactly why this targeted stimulus has been put into motion. But here's what's really interesting about this round of payments: the distribution system has been completely streamlined. The IRS has implemented a new direct deposit system that works in conjunction with the Social Security Administration and Department of Veterans Affairs databases. This means if you're already receiving benefits through direct deposit, you're automatically in line for this stimulus payment. No additional paperwork, no complicated forms to fill out, and no lengthy waiting periods. You might be wondering, what if I'm eligible but haven't received any previous stimulus payments? Don't worry, I'm going to address that too. The IRS has created a special portal specifically for this situation, and I'll walk you through exactly how to use it. But first, let's talk about who qualifies for this payment, because the eligibility criteria might be broader than you think. The primary qualifying factors for this $1,200 payment include being a current recipient of Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, SSI, VA benefits, or railroad retirement benefits. However, there are some important income thresholds to keep in mind. For individual filers, your adjusted gross income must be under $75,000 to receive the full amount. For heads of household, that threshold increases to $112,500, and for married couples filing jointly, it's $150,000. Now, here's something crucial that many people don't realize: even if your income is above these thresholds, you might still be eligible for a reduced payment. The amount gradually decreases as your income increases, and I'll explain exactly how that calculation works. But what's really exciting is that this payment won't affect your other benefits. It won't be counted as income for determining eligibility for federal benefits, and it's not taxable income either. Let's talk about timing, because this is where things get really interesting. The IRS has set up a specialized processing system that operates 24/7 to handle these payments. If you're already in the system with direct deposit information, the process is lightning fast. We're talking about payments hitting accounts within 24 hours of eligibility verification. But what does that mean for you specifically? For Social Security recipients, the IRS is using the information from your most recent benefits payment to process your stimulus. If you receive your Social Security benefits through direct deposit, that's exactly where your stimulus payment will go. The same applies to VA benefit recipients. Your existing payment information will be used to expedite this process. But what if you typically receive paper checks? This is important. You still have time to switch to direct deposit and get your payment faster. I'm going to explain exactly how to do that, and trust me, it's worth the few minutes it takes to set up. The difference between waiting for a paper check and getting direct deposit could be weeks or even months. Here's something else you need to know: this payment is different from any previous stimulus checks you may have received. It's part of a new initiative specifically designed to address the current economic challenges facing beneficiaries. That means even if you receive previous stimulus payments, you're still eligible for this one as long as you meet the current criteria. Let's address some common questions I've been seeing. Do I need to pay this money back? Absolutely not. This is a stimulus payment, not a loan. Will this affect my tax return? No, it won't impact your tax return or create any tax liability. What if I have dependent children? This is interesting because there are additional provisions for families with dependents, and I'll explain exactly how that works. Now, here's what you need to do right now to ensure you get your payment as quickly as possible. First, verify that your direct deposit information is current with the Social Security Administration or VA, depending on which benefits you receive. Second, make sure the IRS has your correct mailing address, even if you're using direct deposit. This is important for any follow-up correspondence. But what if you haven't filed taxes recently? Don't worry if you're receiving Social Security or VA benefits, the IRS will use your benefit information to process your payment. However, if you have dependents who might qualify you for additional payments, you'll want to make sure the IRS has this information, and I'll explain exactly how to provide it. Let's talk about what to do if 24 hours pass and you haven't received your payment. The IRS has set up a special tracking tool, and I'll show you exactly how to use it. But here's something important to remember: the 24-hour time frame begins after your eligibility is verified, not from when you first hear about this stimulus payment. There's also a special provision for people who receive multiple types of benefits. For example, if you receive both Social Security and VA benefits, you'll want to know which agency will process your payment to avoid any confusion or delays. I'll explain exactly how this works and what you need to do in this situation. Now, let's discuss something that's catching many people off guard: the additional support services that come with this stimulus payment. The government has recognized that a one-time payment, while helpful, isn't the only support people need right now. That's why they've included access to additional resources and programs, and I'll tell you exactly how to access these. Here's another crucial point: this stimulus payment is protected from garnishment for most types of debt. However, there are a few exceptions you need to know about, and I'll explain exactly what those are and how to protect your payment if you're concerned about garnishment. If you're helping a family member or friend who receives these benefits, there are some special considerations you need to know about. For representative payees or those with power of attorney, there are specific steps you need to take to ensure the stimulus payment is properly processed and received. Now, let's address something that's causing some confusion: the difference between this stimulus payment and other benefits or credits you might be receiving. This payment is separate from and in addition to any other benefits you're entitled to. It won't affect your eligibility for other assistance programs or impact your regular benefit amounts. What about security? With any financial transaction, security is paramount. I'll share some important tips to protect yourself from scams related to this stimulus payment. Remember, the IRS will never call, email, or text you asking for personal information about your stimulus payment. Finally, let's talk about what to do with this money once you receive it. While how you use your stimulus payment is entirely up to you, I'll share some strategies for making the most of this payment, especially in the current economic climate. Before we wrap up, let me remind you why this information is so important right now. This stimulus payment is designed to provide immediate financial relief, and the faster you act on the information I've shared, the sooner you can receive your payment. Don't let this opportunity for financial support pass you by. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on benefits, stimulus payments, and financial information that directly affects you. Have you received your stimulus payment yet? Share your experience in the comments below. Your insight could help others in our community who are still waiting for their payment. This is the kind of news that can make a real difference in people's lives, and I want to make sure everyone who's eligible knows about it and knows exactly what to do to receive their payment. Keep checking back for updates, and don't forget to share this video with anyone you know who receives Social Security or VA benefits. They'll thank you for it. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll be covering even more important updates about benefits and financial support programs. Until then, take care, and I hope you see that $1,200 in your account very soon.